and that is part of their unfortunate subscribers database, which we are not privy to. But you can basically understand what is going on, and we'll go back more to the International Energy Agency and some of their reports as they come forward. And this was their July report and continual glut on the markets. Let me just check on our time here, and we'll finish this up with the numbers as we go along here. Okay. Anyway, nonetheless, from the BBC, where we will head, we pretty much scanned most of what is going on out there. Let me just get the news from the Greek standpoint. And actually what is going on. It's kind of interesting right here. The first Bitkom ATM in Greece promises limited transactions amidst financial or capital controls. Now, this is interesting in that going to alternative systems, the first two-way Bitkom ATM was inaugurated in downtown Athens on a Saturday. A co-working space that houses several innovative startups. The two-way Bitkom to Euro vice versa ATM machine was installed by the Spanish startup BitChain. Anyway, the system is a system that cannot be controlled there. And then this is one of the things that we'll see probably more and more, and we haven't really talked about this, and we'll get into this. The Bitkom is a completely digital currency. It is not available in any physical form of coin or banknote. It is not a product of any particular nation. It's not controlled by any particular bank. Production, storage, handling, and transaction with Bitkom are exclusively electronic, and from technical terms, the Bitkom is a peer-to-peer payment system. And we'll get a little bit more into this, but now we'll go to the BBC as we are kind of pushing on our time element here. That happens. We gave the headline, the summit was canceled. And in the U.S., rates are scheduled to rise this year according to the Fed. And this is Chair Yellen here, has repeated the view that the bank is likely to start raising interest rates later, but she said in the speech that it's appropriate to start normalizing the policy. Now, recent week economic data and a call for the International Monetary Fund to delay until 216 has dampened the increase, but we will be watching carefully. This is from if there's a continual improvement in the labor market. Now, we already talked about that. But Yellen said during her speech, after her speech, that the IMF view was a part of the spectrum of opinion. Now, the spectrum of opinion itself is very hard to judge at some times. Let's go to the markets now, and then we'll do the commodity pricing. Here, this is Friday, unless otherwise noted. And in the positive, the FTSE at 91.76. In Amsterdam, they were at 11.42. The DAC at 420.26. In Paris, they were at 149.85. In Brussels, 89.36. In Madrid, having a little problem with our screen here, at 3.29, at 329.70. That was in Madrid. In Zurich, 149.10. In Moscow, 9.76. In Johannesburg, in the negative, 294.82. In Bombay, also in the negative, 28.32. And in Karachi, 34.94 in the negative, and 66.70 in Lahore. In Colombo, 37.0 or not 7 in the positive, and in Tehran on Tuesday, 741.50. In Sydney on Friday, 21.80. The Nikkei was down 75.87. The Hang Seng, 508.49. In Shanghai, they were 188.47. In New York on Friday, 211.79. The Nasdaq was at 75.30. In the commodities market out in the Midwest city of Chicago, the Merck was at 25.31. In São Paulo, 808.97, and in Mexico they were at 351.86. So that rounds them out, and let's quickly take a look at the commodities, particularly Brent crude futures and where they were. They were up 10 cents at $58.71. The spot was down 14 cents at $58.82. Texas Intermediate was $52.83. T-Boone Pickens still jumping for joy. He remembers $15 a barrel. It did not change. Oil. And the gold, the Forex, was up $8.15 at $1,162.40. Dubai gold futures up $1.50 at $1,180.90. Silver still at $15.47 for anyone that's still in silver. A bunch of negatives here in the metal market. We won't get into that. They were down from aluminium to you virtually name it, nickel, etc. Corn futures, they were up $8. Soybean futures were up also $5.75. Wheat was up $9.25. Something we watch that was on the CBOT and the Euronext. We'll look at cocoa. It was up $5. Feeding wheat, $1. White sugar futures, $12.20. Most people have gotten out of that. The Bloomberg Commodity Index was up 30 cents at 99.3. This will do it for us. For those in business back next week, a productive one. We'll update you on the Greek crisis as it continues, as they are euphemistically calling it. It is, in fact, actually a Eurozone crisis, or a Euro crisis that has been in the making for many years, and also when the Eurozone, the euro was expanded to many of these countries, some of the economies were suitable to be in, some were not. And there are a gamut of quote-unquote local conditions. This is one reason in Spain and Italy there's a particular concern there because of the austerity measures that have been placed upon them when austerity is basically out of date. And this causes a lot of pain and suffering and also economic collapse. Have a good weekend, everyone. We'll talk to you next week.